Let's go. UW says, I'm with Shay on GP. He's lazy diva who either needs to get it together or gonna get hard to get on the same page with Russ when he's not running his routes 100% every snap.
No, that's real life, man. If he doesn't grow up and, like I said, man, just become more professional. I think that's the big thing. We could talk about the age in the sense of the numerical value of it, but maturity, professionalism at this level, and when I say maturity, I'm talking about professional maturity, not who he is as a individual. But it's like those things matter. Those things, when you're talking about winning a championship, when you're talking about winning games, when you're talking about just coming to work and feeling like we're doing something as a collective and we all have a similar focus. It's no distractions. There's no ulterior motives. I think that's what, we're desiring from him. And he's capable of it. That's the other part. It's like, man, I know people will bring up the chart. Oh, this was said about him at Georgia. This is what's been going on throughout his career. It's like, yes, but there's a reason why Coach Simon is so patient with this kid, because he can see the potential, but he also can see the goodness that comes from him at times as well. And that's the thing where it's just like, you're just trying to hone that. You're trying to find that perfect blend of, believe in yourself, have a ton of confidence. But at the same time, give me some humility. Understand that you are not the sole reason why it works or doesn't work, but you are a big part of why it does or doesn't work. But you still got to have that confidence, but you still got to have that humility. You still got to be, I want to be the reason why. But at the same time, hey, coach, what helps the team? What helps us instead of what makes me feel better? And I just think that for young guys, man, or dudes that are new to the league, man, that's the battle that you go through, especially when you're having success early on. And he's had a lot of success as an individual professionally. So, like I said, man, it's just we watching him. Now that clock is ticking though, because just like with everything, no different. We talk Coach T, it's like all of this works. This is positive, but this is still the elephant in the room, playoffs, right? GP, all of the, you make these highlight reel catches, man. You got some funny moments, like that matters. But we're still looking at some of these critical moments and we're saying, we need more out of this, or we need better decision making with some of this as well.
Better attitude, better off-field stuff, all that.
Yeah.
Because that affects the team. I truly believe so. If Tomlin's allowing it, I'm sure there's players in the locker room that are like, man, he's able to get away with this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe I don't have to give 100%.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
It's human nature.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with human nature, man. And that's the part that Coach Tomlin understands, and that's that weird balance of when we said, it's bigger than just X's and O's from coordinator standpoint. It's how do you manage these personalities, these different feelings, emotions, and egos. Dudes, 1 week, everything is smooth because they're having success, so it's easy to work with them. It's easy to get your message to them. Now they go through a little bit of a slump, whether it's team losses or individual performances not being well. I mean, we've seen dudes be disgruntled after positive games because statistically they didn't have the outcome that they wanted. When you're talking about being the head man, you got to deal with all of that and the impact that it's going to have on the team. Because, Deke, think about it this way, man. If I'm handling it one way for me, but you're watching that and you're over there, you're like, bro, like you just said, well, hey, if he can kind of get away with that, why can't I get away with it? And even though the message is going to be, hey, I'm going to treat you all fairly, but you're not equal, like he matters a little bit more. But I'm still going to give you respect. I'm still going to treat you kind, but this dude has a longer leash. Are you still going to be professional enough? And does the coach have the relationship with you to be able to look you in your eye and tell you that, and you still be like, all right, I can dig that. I'm not going to trip out. That is challenging for a lot of people, man. And when you throw that money, that ego, and the social media part where you got fans saying, hey, bro, you ain't got to listen to that. You ain't got to deal with that. That's a lot that you got to process through, man.
Especially, too, since GP is an AB.
That's the other part.
Like, do you have a problem with AB?
You notice you've never heard me talk bad about AB or L Bell.
Yeah, all I've heard is like we know he's showing up for game day.
You know what it was. When people made that big ordeal about, AB showing up late for this, or L Bell didn't make the walkthrough for it, was like, bro, do you know what that man did in the game? Man, I'm gonna holler at you about this walkthrough before I holler at him about that walkthrough. You crazy, man. Hey, look, we'll be the guys that show up for the walkthrough. L Bell, you show up on Sunday, man. Whatever time you need to be there, we'll do the other stuff. We got you. Yeah.
Now, the thing is, though, some of the ramifications you didn't feel in the moment with that, but I'm sure, like, newcomers coming in, seeing how AB was able to get away with stuff.
Until you saw him play. That was the one saving grace, because the difference with AB, L Bell compared to what we see, like I said, with GP and stuff like that, it was never on field related.
I'm saying even though down the line, once like AB and Bell left, they see like,
respect
Tomlin does like play
that.
favorites. If you play a certain way, and you can act a certain way. So I'm sure there is some like ripple effect from that.
I think players have tried it, but I also think that's why we're seeing how many dudes, especially when we're talking wide receiver, have had success here, but we've moved on from them in the heart of them being successful. Whether you're talking, I don't even bring up the Juju part of it because I still say, man, that's contractually. But I look at Chase Claypool and I look at Deontay Johnson. Neither one of them were playing bad when we moved on from them. Neither one were.
I didn't want to trade Claypool.
Neither one were.
Yeah. I thought he would have been a help for Kenny in his rookie season.
Yeah, we didn't want to move on from them dudes.
But once I heard he was a potential locker room guy, I was like, get rid of him.
Internally, they had issues. I'm big on. Yeah, and they're not dealing with that if your production is not Antonio Brown. That's the constant. It's like if you produce to that extent, which, yes, he's Hall of Fame type. He is outlier type production. So when you have outlier type production, yeah, you're going to have outlier type rules. But these other guys that we've been naming that are trying to emulate his behavior, unfortunately, them dudes have not had that type of production. Those dudes have not had the type of, your worst game is 5 catches for 70 yards. You remember that was the AB line. Your bad game, AB's bad game is 5 catches for 70 yards. It's times we looking at these receivers like, oh yeah, 5 and 6. That's great. He balled out today, bro. He did his thing. You catch what I'm saying? Like, so it's levels to what we're putting up with because of what that production looked like. L Bell, we said, was the best running back in the league for a 3 to 4 year span. We ain't talking about nobody on this roster, especially on offense, like that, to where they can feel like they can show when they want to show up, or everything is just, whatever I say goes. Like, no.
Pickens dropped 4 passes in that Bengals game.
Catch what I'm saying? Like, bro, what? When AB was tripping out, AB gonna give you 5 for $150, 2 touchdowns, then he gonna dance on you in the end zone, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. But that's why they were who they were. And now we're seeing the, like you said, cause and effect of it. Yeah. That's why you've had to move on for some guys a little bit premature. But I think that it's consistent in terms of the messaging. If you not that, you
maybe
better
that's
not
another
act like
thing
that.
Tomlin's got to change. A change, like in terms of the approach, like just make it no nonsense. Just have it be like,
I don't think it's as
zero
easy.
tolerance.
I don't think that's the Belichick approach, and we saw how that works. It's zero tolerance while you got Brady. Brady leaves, that zero tolerance is going to get tired. It gets tired, and I think that that's the part that we got to understand, that these dudes is not like back in the day where the power structure was coach had more power than player. A lot of these teams, the player has way more power. Think about this, right? We talk about the defenders doing what they want, and nobody comes in and says, it's them. We default to coordinator every single time. It's nothing against it, but the players know that. We've been there, you know that. We've all said it at some point in time to a coach, hey, bro, they'll get rid of you before they get rid of me. Do you know what that sounds like, man, to hear that? You never hear that in college. You never hear that in high school.
To a coach.
Deke, unfortunately, yes.
Said that?
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, and it's been multiple times, and it's not just a single person. Yeah, like multiple people have said it. Because think about this, man. What you think of like a regular position coach? They get $300-400 tops. Position coach. You know what that's the rookie salary for somebody. Like, they passed that. That's the dude that don't even get in. He barely even get a helmet. He's getting that. So once again, when we talking all these like tough approaches of, man, I sit you down. I just not. All right.
I get,
it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good up until you looking for employment. I'm still doing the exact same thing I've been doing. I'm still gonna get my check. And hey, if it don't work out here, I'm gonna go find some other team that isn't as keen on winning, and I'm gonna just live over there and make, you know what I mean? Like, that's how not everybody. And that's why you appreciate the ones that we do get that are locked in. And that's why we talk about the steal away and that culture and why it matters so much, because there are a lot of athletes out here that don't do it solely because they want to win, because they love the sport. They do it because they were just talented, they had size, and it pays well. And those are dudes you try to avoid. But sometimes you don't know that's that until you get them in. Now you like, dang, now I done paid this dude too much and I'm screwed. So that's like what you're trying to not have happen, but that's real.
Man.
Yeah,
we need some James Ferriers.
Facts,
we need some Casey Hamptons, Ike Taylors,
think
Polamalu.
about all them dudes you're naming. Think about during that time, like, we have bona fide leaders.
It was just never about money with those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You never really thought about it. That defense stuck together for, 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm. It's different.
Fought for each other.
Yeah. And you look at even now, man, when them dudes come out, how close they are, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's a Steeler thing, man. Like, and a lot of us
We're
have
not
tried
saying
to,
about that with some of these defenses over the last 7-8 years.
right, because they haven't been as productive. And when you don't have the production, you don't have the winning, you don't have those playoff runs, you don't build those connections. Because it's literally the season ends, we don't have any history. We didn't get to say, yo, you remember we went on the road in that playoff game? Hey, bro, you remember we had to go over here and do that too? Hey, you remember we lost it? We came back that next year, we did this. They don't have that. So you don't get that same type of connection. Whereas them dudes, them Ferriers, them Foots of the world, man, the Peasies, the Hagans, the Debos, the Smiths, the Hamptons, like these dudes, man, they went on runs together. And when you on that run in that postseason, man, you really learn about each other. It's like, yo, I know what you like. I know what you're willing to do. It's like, man, I always think back to Kansas City when we went on that road in that division round game. It's like, bro, the way we felt coming out of it, it's like, yo, I know you willing to do whatever. Like, I know I don't ever have to question anything about anybody out here. Like, I know what y'all are. And you don't get that always in the regular season. That comes from winning big games in these big moments where it's a lot of adversity and it doesn't look like it should work out. And it's like, yo, we figured it out though, bro. You know why? Because we like that. You like that. We're going to always have that belief in each other. So, it's one of them things, man. We hope that this group can get that. But it's not easy to do, man.
Yeah, it's kind of telling that, honestly, Pickens was the best guy on offense in that playoff game.
Think about it, bro. The one dude that we talking
Pickens
about.
actually showed up in that Bills playoff game, too.
He did.
He was the one, and he's the guy we have the most questions about.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's willing to put it all out there.
Yeah.
Fight for his brothers on the team.
And I was going to say, at least this year with Pickens, he didn't even have the whoops play. I was going to say, it was Buffalo. He had it was like the fumble by the goal line. But it was like, he didn't even have that. So it was like completely across the board. When we had to have it, he was the one who really stepped up and showed that dog type energy at the end. When he split on the spin back and scored, it's like, oh, all right, we got action. So we definitely know what he's capable of, and that's why Coach Tomlin is as lenient and as patient with him as he is. And even us as a fan base, think about it, we still support GP heavily. Imagine if Ben Skronik was acting like this, right? We'd be looking at him like, yo, you tripping. Calvin Austin, you tripping. Van Jefferson, they'd be like, yo, you got to get fired yesterday. With GP, we over here like, are we sure? I mean, maybe.
Right.
Hold on. Maybe we just got to give him another guy here. Maybe we need the leadership. Maybe that's what you see what I mean? Like,
because he's that
talented, bro. He's that talented.
The thing that's lingering is what effect he's having on the locker room and the overall team and the just the productivity on the rest of the players, like how that affects them, how that might be bringing down morale. Yeah, like that's the other thing and the other side of your mind, which is why we're talking also about him being open for trade.
Very true, man. All them things are true, baby. Heck yeah.